I don't know mine.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the conversation with Dr. Joan Coleman. I am Dr. Joan Coleman, IG, Let Me Be Me, and Jay, and I'm with Rita
Hi, I'm Rita Reynolds, and you can find me on Instagram as the Reynolds Love.
and Megan.
Hi, Megan Price. You can find me on IG at Megan P129.
Today, we're going to talk about challenges. There's so much going on in the world, and people have to overcome so many challenges that it's just like, why? Why? Why is all this going on? So, today, we're going to talk about the hardest challenge you have had to overcome. And we just want to talk about it. You could put in a comment box below some of the hard challenges you've overcome, and we'll get back to you. I want to start off with Rita. Rita, you're from Ecuador, right? And you came
Yes.
here. What are some of the hardest challenges you've had to overcome that you overcame, as you traveled here and you're here without your parents? Let's talk about it.
Well, I think this is interesting. The worst one was like last week. My grandma passed.
Oh,
So
condolences.
like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I just can't be there. So I was on FaceTime, and she was 94, but doesn't matter. Always people say, oh, she have a long life. Yeah, I know, but the meaning to me, the memories to me, it's not about she's 100. So I think the challenge was like accept it and forgive myself for don't be there because I really can
Yeah.
and process that. I think that's been the most difficult challenge in my whole entire life. That one. That I was his favorite. They named me after her. She's Rita too.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there for her. So that's it. Yeah, like you know. Me
But
too.
I feel like she understood. She understands, right? Because she knows that you can't
Totally.
left, get up and go, and she know you're here for a better life with your kids and stuff. So don't beat yourself up too much about it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, that's a tough one and you're going to overcome it. So Megan, what is your challenge that you had to overcome, the hardest challenge that you had to overcome?
I think the hardest challenge for me, and I can't say I fully overcome it. I feel like I've accepted and kind of learned to like bend or something. Um, it was, when I'm divorced and I have two kids, and I think choosing away half of their time
Mm-hmm.
is the hardest thing I've ever done, is to like say, I'm going to do this for myself because I deserve happiness. And that means I'm not going to see you 50% of the time. It's grueling. It's one of the most challenging things. And I mean, it's a struggle. Some days are really hard, some days aren't, but I think that is a major. And as they're getting older, even the dynamic of 50-50, it just doesn't necessarily work the same way anymore as they're evolving.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a constant struggle, but that's something that just really is deep, deep in my core, that like I feel like my choices to strive for happiness and forge my way towards happiness meant, giving up that time with them when they're just so little for such a short amount of time.
Yeah, but you have to look at it this way. Tell me if I'm wrong. You have to be full up. Your cup has to be filled. You have to have some joy and happiness because if you don't have that, how can you give it out? You know what I'm saying? How can you give out what you don't have? And it does look like, okay, I'm not with them all the time. I have them 50-50, but it's still better than zero. You know what I mean? And so
Absolutely.
and so how do you feel like you could overcome that?
I
That
feel like
difficult
I,
feeling.
I I actually do it, I think, quite frequently, and I really just try to make the most of our time. I'm not bogging down my time with them, like going to the grocery store or just doing like I net like if you ask me to go out on a Friday night and I'm with my kids, it's a no.
Yeah.
Even if they're out with their friends themselves, like there are no plans in my life except for them on those days. There's no errands, there's no nonsense. There's everything gets done outside of that time, like 100%. So that's something that I think helps me overcome it as well. I will be spending this time doing it anyway. So at least, when they're away, I can get whatever cleaning and, whatever done, so I think that helps me overcome it. And I also tell myself and remind myself that in the moment when I did have to make that decision,
Yeah.
I feel like the only way to show them a healthy lifestyle and a healthy way to live is to do that.
Yes.
So I think otherwise it's 100% negative, right? Rather than 50% awesome. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I think I love you guys. You guys are strong women. You guys are just bad, bad girls. Because I'm not cussing, but you guys are just bad to the bone, right? And so I just admire you, the different challenges you guys come through. It's not hard. It's not easy coming from a country, your grandmom is 94, she passed, and you can't be there. It's not easy seeing, 50-50 and giving half your time away. It's not easy, but you guys are doing it. You guys still look beautiful. You don't look haggard, like, you're not like, and it's so great to see. My challenge is, I work from home. And so the challenge with that is not feeling like I'm not contributing enough, I'm not giving enough. I'm building a business, right? And so when you're building a business, you have time to get in your head and say, oh, am I doing it right? Am I doing enough? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? But I have to overcome that, challenge, and I'm overcoming it because my husband's like, you're good. I got you. You're okay. And then, but sometimes you want to do stuff too. You want to contribute. You want to do what you want to do too, And so I'm working on overcoming those different types of thinking, And so what advice can you give to me, Megan, to overcome the way that I'm thinking? You and Rita, think of some good advice for people that work at home, for entrepreneurs who are going through, I want to contribute, but I want to build my business also. Give us some help. Give us some advice.
I think outlining and actually writing down how you do contribute and having it on hand. So when you're not feeling so great, hey, you know what? I did this. I don't like to-do lists. I like the I did it list. This look at all the stuff I did rather than crossing off all on this one. That makes you feel not great. But I feel if you have an I did it, make yourself an I did it list and then look at your accomplishments because you do contribute. Just differently.
That's great. That's great advice right there. Rita, what you got to say? Help an entrepreneur today.
Well, I just say wherever you've been through, the world never stops. So you need to move because the world will never stop for you. I never do a list, but I just move on and I go forward, when my grandma died, I always think about it more and more. Okay, she died, the world continue. I need to care for my children. I need to work. So I just Megan probably is better than me in that. Maybe she do less. I'm not very organized, by the way. So
that's still great advice. So people out there, entrepreneur, I know what you're saying, Rita. Entrepreneurs out there, people that get in their head all the time, that wants to do more, that think they're not doing enough, that and it finds it difficult to overcome challenges. Remember what Megan said. Make a list of the stuff that you do. Make a list of the things you do contribute to. And like Rita said, the world keeps going round and round, baby. The world's not going to stop for nobody. So just embrace it. Just know that you're doing what you're doing and live in that moment and know that the world don't stop. You have 365 days to do it over and over again to get it right. Right, Megan? So any last words? Rita, what's your last words?
Well, just never stop. Just move forward.
Okay, Megan?
Say just, celebrate the little things and the big things, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Life is a gift.
Celebrate everything.
Everything. Life is a gift. You only have one. Celebrate everything. Celebrate your wins. Get through your loss. Get through with suffering and come back and celebrate your other wins. It's just keep going around and around. Make your list of I did it. Make a I did it list and look at it every day. And you know what? Encourage yourself. You know what? Don't wait for other people to encourage you. Encourage yourself. I'm so glad we had this conversation. Keep being great. Again, put in the comment box below anything you want to tell us about, what you're going through, the challenges you have overcame. And I am Dr. Joan Coleman. My IG is Let Me Be Me and Jay, and I'm with Megan
Megan Price, Megan P129 on IG.
and Rita.
I'm Rita Reynolds, and you can find me on Instagram at the Reynolds Law.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.